Well, here I am having a nice morning out. Um, yeah, it's really good. My wife and I decided this morning we'd get up and come out for a walk along the beach. And yeah, so I decided to bring the camera with me, as I should. And I'll give you a view in a minute of where we are, where we're sitting, what we've been looking at, and I've just wandered around with the camera, taking a few shots, just different ideas that I had, some of which might work, some of which might not, maybe none of them will. I'll find out when I get back home, pop them into Lightroom in the first instance, have a look and see what we've got. And at the end of the day, if none of them work, does it matter? No, because we've been out, we've got some nice fresh air, we've got some beautiful scenery to look at, we've had some exercise, and it's doing us good. So at the end of the day, if we get some good photos out of it, hey, that's a bonus. If not, doesn't matter. So yeah, my tip, always take your camera with you. You never know what you might get. And if I get something decent out of this, then I'll share that later. But for the moment, let me give you a little look at what I'm sitting looking at. Well, it's a day later, and I'm back at the computer, and yeah, I did get something quite interesting out of that trip yesterday, and it was inspired really by the closing shot there of the oil rig, and I looked at it and just imagined if the sea was really mirror flat, what a reflection could look like. So I'm going to show you next the shot that I ended up with, followed by the shot that came out of the camera. And yeah, well, I'll just explain a little bit about that. So this is the shot I ended up with. It's the one that I was kind of visualising as I was looking out at the rig. So this was taken on a longer focal length lens, and I just imagined that we could have a more clear reflection. And I think when you look at this, at first glance you think that looks probably natural, but then you stop and think, well, if that was natural, what size would that rig be? It'd be pretty small on a pretty small pond to get a reflection that clear, particularly when you see the next shot, which is the one that came out of camera. And here we are. You can see quite a marked difference here. The image is much duller. You can see the rocks and so on in the foreground, and yeah, so to get to the image that I ended up with, I did some initial processing in Lightroom, then took the image over into Photoshop, where we got rid of the foreground rocks, added in some more water, obviously did some colour treatment on it, and then did a copy of the rig onto a new layer, flipped it upside down, popped it underneath, and did a wee bit of work to take out the old reflection and do some work on the new one to make it look a little bit more authentic. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with the result. And it certainly prompts some thoughts, doesn't it, about reflecting on things. And I think the question as to whether when we look at reflections, be they a reflection in the mirror, or if we spend time reflecting on something, whether the reflection that we see is what's actually there, or whether it's what we want to see. And that just had me wonder, because the photograph I've ended up with is what I wanted to see. So I've created a reflection that, if you'll pardon the pun, mirrors what was in my imagination, but is very far removed from the actual reality. And I like the fact that that spawns some thoughts as to how often do we in normal life, be it whether we're, as I say, looking in the mirror ourselves, or just reflecting on things that we've done, or reflecting on experiences that we've had, end up with a reflection that is rather more what we'd like it to be than what it actually is. And on that thought, I'll leave you until the next time. Thank you once again for watching, for tuning in. If you've liked this, please do give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you in the next one.